in that situation. It was before I got here, but the pro tem's doing double duty. Pro tem's having to be lieutenant governor and pro tem. And then what it also does is it puts a well, I mean, it puts a burden on that person. But if we automatically, I guess I'm speaking against it, if we automatically made the pro tem lieutenant governor, that would that might put somebody in a box. In other words, if it was depending on the timing of it, they might be planning on running for re-election. And then all of a sudden, a vacancy is created in the state Senate, and they get automatically swooped up to lieutenant governor. And then somebody runs for their Senate seat, and they got a problem because they want to go back. So I see that that's being a problem, but I also see that you think about it, where is this most likely going to happen with what Senator Orr is proposing? If something happened with the most likely, if there's a vacancy, of course, any of us could die at any minute, and there's a vacancy in our office. But most likely, what we're talking about is that the governor's he's either died or been removed from office, resigned, and then the lieutenant governor goes up, and they get to appoint their replacement. A little bit of a concern for me about that much power in the governor. I want to talk about it. I'll vote for it today to move it along. But I mean, honestly, I'd rather the Senate and 35 senators elect the lieutenant governor than the governor having that much power.
Any other discussion? All right, Senator Carnley, we have a second.
Second.
Hovey. All right, previous row. Anybody object to previous row? All right. HB 243, Senator Weaver.
I am carrying this bill for Representative Witt in the Department of Commerce. This bill creates the Alabama Development Fund, which develops a very creative and out-of-the-box funding mechanism. It's going to allow Alabama to remain competitive and even excel beyond our neighboring states. No new taxes, no effect on the general fund. We'll be collecting a small portion of the abated taxes for future projects and then placing these proceeds in the new fund. So the company that's being recruited will pay for this fee. It will reduce the state sales tax abatement by 0.75%, and it would put it in that new fund. If there are any questions, happy to answer them. Department of Commerce.
Have a favorable?
Well, I thought she had made a.
Oh, did you?
Were you just handling the bill and then?
No, I was just handling the bill.
You're just handling it.
Yeah.
Favorable.
All right. Give Ann a second. Everyone good with previous row? All right. Next is SB 177, and that's basically we're going to change the name from the Alabama Film Office to Alabama Entertainment Office. And do one of y'all want to come up and kind of give a highlight of what it is? Whichever. I'll say it was a good draw for y'all on that.
Oh, well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Senator. This is something that we've wanted to do for some time. We actually got to hire a brand new executive director for our film office this year, so it's an excellent time to capitalize on this. So essentially, we're changing the name of the film office to the entertainment office to more accurately portray what it is we do out of that office, because it's far more than just films. We're also adding a qualifying project of music albums. So we have a lot of course, in North Alabama. There's a good portion of South Alabama, too, that does a lot in the recording industry. So we're doing that for them. We're increasing the cap from 20 to 30 million. We have been committing out $20 million just about every single year, even during the big strikes that were going on. So, you know, we'll see how this does. Our new film director, I like the way she terms it. It'll allow us to stretch our legs a little bit and see what we can do to recruit some bigger projects, maybe some larger films. 2 million of that 30 million would be reserved for the first 6 months just for the recording industry. So they have that 6 months to utilize that, after which it would go back into the overall cap. Of course, they would still be able to qualify for that at that point too. And then I need to make sure I get my numbers right here from from my general counsel for, we're going to increase the maximum spend on a single qualifying project, film project to, is it 25 million? To 25 million, which, where was it? 20? Well, we didn't have a maximum. Oh, no, I'm sorry, for the qualifying projects for film. They have a minimum spend of 500,000, and I think we've increased it to 25 million, that it can still receive incentives, just again, to let us compete for slightly larger projects. We don't want to go increase too much at one time, but just a little bit and just see what we're capable of doing.
I think Senator Stewart yesterday got my attention on this when he said, the film Selma was filmed in Georgia.
Yes.
Because of these incentives they have over there, we couldn't compete, so they film so much over there, and that really, I want them to bring them here.
So it's interesting. One of the things that we've seen is that we're not going to be Georgia and we're not going to be Nashville, but there are a lot of good projects that we see that want to get out of Atlanta, and when they can, and music projects that want to get out of Nashville because it's so commercialized. And then you have a sweet little town like Muscle Shoals that's capable of putting out the same quality, the same caliber production. Let's do it. So,
Any questions?
any questions?
I was just going to say, Mr. Speaker, we would be Georgia if you incentivize Senator Carnley and I to get our acting careers off. Just want to put that out.
I'm gonna put that on a hold. How
Well,
about?
I'm going to be on the audition committee for that. Thank you so much, Senator. Thank you.
Senator, I think the Two Stooges has already been done.
All right.
I just
Senator.
have, Mr. Chair, I'm going to support the bill. I just have to say this. I was here when we passed that first incentive bill, and don't know if he's listening because he's up here sometimes. And it was former Representative Earl Hilliard, who now works for the city of Birmingham, who championed that bill so many years ago. So it's exciting now to hear that we're expanding and to hear when Alabama is bringing some of these projects. I think I saw somewhere where Fairhope had one of those major films, and that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to more.
So our new film director came from Create Birmingham, so they know each other. So you'll love talking to her.
All right. April, you made Senator Weaver's got favorable. A second. Second. Same row. No objections. Hey, you gotta set the calendar just right. All right, we're adjourned.